good day. Welcome to my class and welcome to my channel. Today, we are to discuss writing a good expanded definition from our Pivot for a Learner's Packet or LIP. I am your subject teacher, Dr. Jan-Ann-Rey Consignado, and I know that you are all excited to learn new things today. I hope you prepared the following materials: notebook, paper, pen, and of course, our Pivot for a Learner's Packet or LIP. Our most essential learning competency or MEF is give expanded definitions of words. That is our most essential learning competency. And our content or core content is expanded definitions of words. Introduction. Time frame 30 minutes. Definition. One of the most useful forms of writing. Helps readers arrive at a basic understanding of concepts or ideas in essays or reports. In your writing, you may be using technical words that some people may be unfamiliar with, like liabilities in business, or more abstract concept like happiness, a word that different people have personal feelings or meanings attached to it. Thus, this calls for a certain term to be explained not by merely providing synonyms or listing examples, but with much details or the use of expanded or extended definition. To illustrate further, when you write reports, you may often discover what you need to explain certain basics before you can discuss the main subject matter. A good example is in a write-up on the benefits of drip irrigation. You would need first to write an extended definition of drip irrigation, differentiating its subtypes, explaining how it works, and what equipment is used. This lesson will inform you about expanded definitions of words, which is commonly used in formal papers or academic essays to ensure that misunderstanding or miscommunication will not happen. This is because words often have more than one meaning, so we write expanded definitions to make sure that our readers share our meaning or concept of the word we are using. This lesson will also introduce you to the different techniques or approaches to making expanded definitions. Concept Digest. Expanded definition goes deeper than a simple dictionary definition, offering an expanded analysis and illustration of a concept that might be abstract, debatable, controversial, unfamiliar, or frequently misunderstood. Giving an expanded definition is number 1, distinguishing the characteristics of a certain word. Number 2, providing extra facts or information about it. Number 3, giving examples. And number 4, saying what cannot be included to describe it. Read the paragraph below. Observe how a definition is developed by taking note of the numbered statements. expanded definition is to compose the formal sentence definition of the term you are writing about, placing it toward the beginning of the expanded definition helps establish the focus of the rest of the discussion. Below is a brief recall to distinguish formal from informal definitions of words. A formal definition consists of three parts: the term being defined, the class it belongs to, and its distinguishing characteristics. An informal definition explains an unfamiliar term using synonyms or antonyms introduced by or, in other words, or like. Take note of how the term sense of humor was defined. Sense of humor, formal definition, and informal definition. Formal definition: sense of humor is the ability to laugh and make others laugh. Informal definition: sense of humor means to appreciate a joke or to perceive humor. Since expanding basic formal definitions means explaining the differentiating characteristics thoroughly, the following questions may serve as framework. How does it work? What are its parts? What does it do? Can it be compared to anything familiar? How is it used? What is its origin and background? The techniques or approaches to making expanded definitions listed below may be of great help in answering the aforementioned questions. Be aware, however, that the technique or techniques to be used will depend on what is appropriate for the term you are trying to define or explain. Techniques: how to do it. Examples: etymology, sharing a word's origin. Arbitration, from the Latin word arbitrary, meaning to judge. Historical references or background. If relevant, discussing the history of the term, its use, controversies associated with it. Discuss how the use of arbitration as a third-party mediation dates from the 1630s and how the practice came about. Cause and effect. Discussing how the situation came about and what effects it may have. In the case of arbitration, cause and effect may be the same as the history. Description: listing and defining the component parts, identifying smaller, more familiar pieces of an idea to the definition of the bigger concept, using a word that creates a picture in the reader's mind so that the reader might relate through memory of sound, sight, touch, hearing, or smell. Arbitration is conducted by a trained arbiter who sets down the rules that the parties must abide by. Principles of operation: discussing how topic in question functions, including any special materials or conditions required. From Avron ADR services, send the other party notice of your intent to pursue arbitration. The claimant or the person initiating the case sends the respondent a demand letter. This letter states the desire to submit the dispute to arbitration either by means of the contract's arbitration clause or by mutual consent. Classification: showing how the topic fits into a larger category. Arbitration is one of the alternatives to going into a formal court to settle disputes. Contrast or negation: defining a term by explaining what the concept is not, showing how the topic differs from others in the same class. And in an arbitration proceeding, no lawyers are present. Comparison: showing how the topic is similar to others in class. As with lawsuits or other court proceedings, the decision in an arbitration proceeding is legally binding on the parties. Analogy: explaining by comparing two dissimilar topics where the second is familiar to the audience. An arbiter is like a referee. He or she listens to both sides and makes decision as to who is at fault without the intervention of outside parties. Examples or anecdotes: telling a story or example that illustrates the term. Arbitration was recently used to settle the dispute between the labor union and management. Illustrations: providing a picture or image that is used to clarify a text, like this one. There you have it. Indeed, one sentence definitions are not enough to express your views on a specific term or concept. That's why it is important that when you develop your angle in expanded definitions, keep in mind to think about the concept's background, features, characteristics, and parts with due considerations to the techniques or approaches in order to define the term adequately. B. Development. Time frame 1 hour and 30 minutes. Learning task 1. Directions. Match the term or word in column A to its possible expanded definition in column B. Write the letter of your answer on the blank before each number. Column A. Alzheimer's disease. Happiness. Friendship. Computer memory. Speed. Column B. Letter A. What makes people happy? For us, mortals, a few extra coins in the packet, a new friend, an excellent dish, a good book may bring pleasure. Others pursue happiness through wealth, power, or fame. Letter B. Affected individuals are at first forgetful, as the memory disorder gradually worsens the individuals. Although able to recall occurrences in the distant past, are unable to remember recent activities. Letter C. It is one of the three basic components of a computer which stores information for future use, both the data that will be operated on as well as the programs that direct the operations to be performed. Letter D. This moves the vehicle from a stationary to a slow speed of about less than 10 kilometers per hour or kph. Letter E. This is if either one of two friends is involved in difficulty, such as problems with failing courses at school or even problems of a much more serious nature. The other friend will provide help, encouragement, concern, and perhaps even direct intervention. Learning Task 2. Directions from the word pool below. Determine the techniques or approaches used in the numbered statements found in the expanded definition of freedom. We have negation, description, historical reference, examples, and etymology. And your answers. Learning Task 3. Fill in the semantic web with your ideas on what makes or unmakes a good friend. Use the given template for webbing. Then, write an expanded definition of friend based on the given ideas. Here's the illustration. Friend. You have to provide synonym or synonyms. Provide extra facts or information. Give examples and identify distinguishing characteristics. E. Engagement. Time frame 1 hour and 30 minutes. Learning task 4. Directions. For your final task, create a good, expanded definition. First, choose one from the set of topics listed below. Number 2. Find out the various details, distinguishing characteristics, extra facts, or information, synonyms, examples or anecdotes about your chosen topic. Number 3. With a specific audience in mind, write a comprehensive definition of your term by using the different ways or techniques of expanding it. Be guided with the given criteria. We have the content, techniques, organization, and mechanics. These are the criteria. Assimilation, 10 minutes. This lesson emphasized that expanded definitions of words are one or more statements of explanation or illustration of a word, thing, or concept. They help create pictures in the reader's mind so that they may relate through memory of how it works, looks, feels, sounds, tastes, or smells, or what does it do, or what are its parts. In addition, the techniques presented in the graphic organizer below make it possible for you to discern which ones are appropriate to be utilized in expanding definitions of words. Ponder on this question and write your answers on your paper. How will your understanding of the features or structures and techniques or approaches to making expanded definitions of words help you in your everyday life? That is the question. We have techniques in expanding definitions of words. Classification, historical references or background, analogy, comparison, contrast or negation, examples of anecdotes, principles of operation, illustrations, etymology, description, and cause and effect, and the assessment 10 minutes. Instructions. Decide whether each statement is true or false. Number 1. Expand the definition of word goes deeper than a simple dictionary definition. True or false? Number 2. You can illustrate the concept of a word with anecdotes from your personal life or examples from the news or current events, or write an opinion piece. True or false? Number 3. The structure of expanded definition of word consists of formal sentence definition from the dictionary, followed by the appropriate techniques that will help you explain further the term to the readers. And number 4, providing etymology means explaining by comparing two dissimilar topics where the second is familiar to the audience. True or false? And last, number 5, a whale is not a fish is an example of a technique called negation. True or false? Our references. We have this. We also have this one. This. And of course, our learner's packet. Special thanks to Miss Shirley H. Cabuyao. Do you have questions? Kindly use our comment section. And please like this video. Handang isip, handa bukas. Sama-sama sa pagsulong ng edukalidad. I am Miss Jan-Ann-Rey Consignado, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Stay safe, healthy, and happy. Bye-bye!